Hey, yo, what the f***? This is a palace right here.
The late night flight is paid for by the following.
Time to play the game where we find out who's capping. It is...
This is the game where we find out if this is the bullshit. I am Nasua, new brew, and I brung a stack for you hoes today. And my man, co-producer Smarts, got the rest of the money in the trunk. What's up with you, sir?
I'm chilling, bro. Feeling good after episode 70. Did a couple of good impressions. I felt good. So I think I'm going to do some impressions on this episode.
Wait, you didn't feel good after you brung that bag for the shaky butt?
Wow. Oh, see, don't even start no mess.
What are you talking about?
Nah, that wasn't me, bro.
Yo, what you mean? We had that Mayweather bag and we was in the shaky butt.
That was not me.
We was in the shaky butt.
Some other guy.
It could have been Jerz.
It might have been him.
It
wasn't me.
It was definitely you.
It wasn't me.
You know? Yo, did you hear about this? John Stockton did not want any part of the Michael Jordan quote-unquote puff piece, but took no issue telling a fake story, a lie, if you will, glorifying the one white hope himself, Larry Bird. What you think about that?
Oh, man. So, can I do my impression?
You know it.
Yeah, I get to tell whatever story I want. It doesn't even have to be true, see? Yeah. Wow.
Are you ready to start the game?
Let's go.
Hey, speaking of white, let's talk about Drake.
Yo.
Imagine if that was a song. Like, let's talk about Drake, baby.
Nah,
let's talk about
chill,
white
bro.
babies. Let's talk about all the sons that he did not want you to know.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's
Wow.
talk about Drake. No, I'm
Oh,
just playing.
no.
Drake, the chart-topping rapper and singer himself, has withdrawn his name from competition in the upcoming Grammy Awards, the latest problem involving headlining talent for the Embattled Awards. This award show has struggled with the alienation of other top acts like The Weeknd and The Frank Ocean, okay? So Drake, yes, chart-topping rapper and singer, Drake, one of the most popular and influential artists in pop music today, Drake had 2 nominations for the 64th Annual Awards, which were announced 2 weeks ago. His song, I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt, featuring Future and Young Thug, which is funny. I wonder do you think Young Thug came in with like a long white tee?
Oh, wow.
But it wasn't a long white tee, it was more like a sundress. Anyway, we won't get into that.
Wow. Hey, man.
So it was Way Too Sexy featuring Future and Young Thug, okay? That was up for Best Rap Performance and Certified Lover Boy, one of the biggest hits of the year, or one of the biggest albums of the year. I think that's what the article wanted to say.
Right.
But how was that a hit? But anyway, one of the biggest albums of the year. That's true. I can't knock that. That was up for Best Rap Album. So he said, I don't want to be on either one of those categories. Okay? He's not nominated in any of those categories no more.
He doesn't want to participate in the Grammys at all.
No. So here's what's going on. He was not nominated for any of the top categories, such as Best Album of the Year, Record of the Year, or Song of the Year.
So it was, if I can't get those nominations, I don't want any nominations.
Smarts, is it the bullshit that today's quote-unquote greatest rap artists don't even want to be nominated as a rap artist?
That's some BS. That's some BS. So he wants to dictate what nominations he gets nominated for, or he's not going to participate in it.
The man wants to be a pop sensation, which I understand.
Right.
But again, you hold the mantle as king of rap. Why don't you not do rap anymore, like at all? Don't do it. Do your pop songs. No, there's nothing wrong with it.
I know.
Listen. Michael Jackson is the king of pop, not the king of R&B.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I want to see how this plays out for next year, and the years to come, to see how the top artists start to dictate what's happening to the Grammys, because a lot of things are changing with these award shows, with minorities and how people are nominated and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just curious to see how that plays out.
Speaking of people that's nominated, I always thought she had best ass in movie. Megan Good.
Okay.
Appeared on the Nick Cannon show with Nick Cannon on December 1st, 2021. And Nick Cannon brought up a story about a date that the two had years ago when they were 17 and 16 years old.
Oh, okay.
The actress was on the show to promote her new Amazon Prime Video movie that is called, series called Harlem.
Right.
As Nick Cannon recalled, the two were teenagers when they were out on a date after Megan was nominated for an NAACP award for the movie Eve's Bayou. Megan Good invited Nick Cannon to attend the award ceremony with her. And Nick Cannon recalled talking about Eve's Bayou and the whole situation about how they went on a date. So he's a tall, goofy kid. My first real date ever? She invited me. She was nominated. Y'all remember that film Eve's Bayou, right? Y'all remember it, right? Right, y'all? You know how the daytime be like, yeah.
We remember
Y'all remember Eve's Bayou? Okay.
Yeah.
She was amazing in Eve's Bayou, right? Right? Wasn't she? Did she have a big butt? I don't know if she had a big butt in Eve's Bayou. She was a kid, right?
I never looked at Megan. It's weird. I never looked at Megan Good like that. So I wasn't really checking for her like that.
I look at Megan Good like that any day. Anyway, so she got nominated for an NAACP award, and for some reason she asked little old me, as in Nick Cannon, not me.
Yeah,
like I am little old me, but we talking about Nick Cannon. All right. He was just literally a kid doing stand-up comedy. That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? He was literally he was a kid doing stand-up comedy, which I don't get it. Like, he's not funny. Anyway, let's continue.
Okay, that was maybe before his Nickelodeon days or around his Nickelodeon days.
It was a great night. But leading up to that was one of the worst nights of my life because it was raining. He was driving his mama's old broke down jalopy. I caught a flat in the middle of the rain. I got this tuxedo on and I'm like, I'm going to this award show with Megan Good. I'm screaming, I'm crying to the tow truck driver who drove me all the way to the house towing the car. This sounds like Rush Hour already. Remember that scene?
Yeah.
So Megan Good, who also remembered that evening, recalled Nick Cannon arriving in a tow truck to pick her up for the awards, and they both laughed about it because she wasn't even ready when he arrived. All right? Typical woman. Now I'm just playing. He went on to say that this was his first date and it was his first award show and he had a great time. And they also talked about how Megan Good put him in the friend zone. Megan was the first person to ever friend zone me, he said, but it was dope though because we actually became best friends. The two also reminisced about growing up in Hollywood, working together in the 2005 movie Roll Bounce. So, Smarts, here go the question.
Let's go.
Is it the bullshit that when Nick Cannon get friend zoned, he gets a roll in Roll Bounce? But when Nick Nova gets friend zoned by a badass Megan, he either gotta roll up or bounce.
Wow. That's a BS. I got a comment about that whole conversation, but we'll save that for another topic.
And finally.
Let's go.
And finally. Listen, for all you ladies, I got some thirst-trapping news for you. Oh, yeah. Y'all want to talk some mental health, sis? I got you for this one. I got y'all on this one. You know who PJ Washington is?
No.
He's a bench player for the Charlotte Hornets, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Which makes him a rich man.
Yeah, absolutely.
PJ Washington, third-year active player in the NBA, went to Kentucky. He's actually not bad of a player. He's okay. PJ Washington of the Charlotte Hornets just can't seem to break away from the drama. You're like, what drama, right? You don't even know what's going on.
Nah.
I'm about to tell you. The 23-year-old NBA star was hard at work on the court during a December 5th game against the Atlanta Hawks when a few crowd goers began chanting his ex-girlfriend and baby mama, Brittany Renner's name. Imagine you at a free throw now. They're like, Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner. Now, if you've been living under a rock these last few weeks, the 29-year-old fitness model was heavily criticized back in November after some social media haters claimed that she had intentionally thirst-trapped the young athlete with their precious baby boy, Paul Jermaine Washington, the 1-2-3, okay?
Okay.
During a heated interview with DJ Academics, the social media guru who, is not Joe Budden, but he's doing his thing right now. She went on that show and just talked crazy crap to the naysayers, and denied that she gave birth to the power forward son for a big payday. This is what she said in the podcast with DJ Academics.
Okay.
This is what I get so annoyed about. It's like, when do you as men take accountability? You are old enough to ride this ride. Brittany said this in an episode of DJ Academics podcast. It's called Off the Record. You want to me. You want to me. You want to me raw. So why are we babying men who make decisions for themselves? Stop acting like someone had to pull the wool over his eyes. Or the condom over his I guess, right? All right, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So it's unclear as to when Brittany Renner and PJ first began dating, but rumors of their suspected romance began swirling back in February 2019. There's another rumor that's saying they met when he was in Kentucky.
Okay.
As a college player. Right. So she could have been like 26, 27 at the time.
Him? That's what they're saying?
There you go. You go.
Okay.
So here we go. As that goes on, they're saying that PJ took to Twitter in July where he tweeted and deleted a message claiming that Brittany Renner was faking it all along, talking about their relationship. All right. So following their split, rumors have surfaced that the 2019 NBA draft pick had to cough up nearly $200,000 per month in child support to Renner.
Wow.
But the chatter was quote unquote all cap, according to one of PJ Washington's Twitter posts.
Okay.
In other related news, Brittany Renner, the star herself, was just recently invited to Jackson State University for a lecture alongside the greatest cornerback you have ever heard, Deion Sanders, to go talk to his young football team as she gets to recruit a new man. I'm sorry. Smarts, I ask you. I ask you, Smarts. Smarts, I ask you. I ask you, Smarts.
Go ahead, man.
Let's go have fun. Anyway, I ask you, Smarts. Here we go. Is it the bull that Planned Parenthood hasn't cut a deal with Instagram to help sponsor Instagram models so they can support their ongoing hustle of their terrible books and webinars so they don't have to continue to hustle by getting cream pie by NBA bitch players? You ain't gotta answer that.
Wow. Yo, life is boxing. Protect yourself at all times.
Thank you. I need to play in the NBA. Bye-bye.
It's a bunch of us. I'm in the colony.
Hold on. Everybody on their mountain, everybody marching for a young nigga like me to get tsunami on it. I'ma get it, I'ma win it, baby. I'll be on my curry till I crash your bird 40 on the tech. Yeah, I'm acting nerdy if it's at the Appalachian to the Appalachian. I'ma do whatever that they take to make a black a nation. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sweets, and I'm your chief flight attendant. On behalf of the pilot and the entire crew, welcome aboard the Late Night Flight. And here is your captain, the Nile River of New Jersey, the pilot of Tuskegee Training, the greatest honey badger who has ever lived, the creator of Black Pilot Radio and the Late Night Flight. Here is the victorious one, Nasor Nuru.
What up, my passengers? We are first in priority and will be departing in 5 minutes. We appreciate your business. With that being said, this flight ain't cheap. Donate to the Cash App $, a Late Night Flight. Now, it might be a little turbulence, but we are predicting clear skies on our way back to Jersey. But before we do us a solid. Give us a like on our Facebook page. Follow us on IG to click the link tree in the bio. Chirp at us on Twitter at The Late Night Flight. And you can catch all 71 episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Amazon Music, Audible, the Late Night QR scan, wherever podcasts are available. Now let's take off.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is co-producer Smarts of TLNF, brought to you for America and around the world. This is the 2021 annual debate for audio podcast versus video podcast. Now, on my right, I have Teddy Bear Jerz. On my left, I have Nasor Nuru. Fellas, you both have 2 minutes to talk talk about your topic, to talk about which one's better. Teddy Bear, you have 2 minutes to talk about visual podcast. Nasur, you have 2 minutes to talk about audio podcast. Now let's get at it.
All right. Okay. So what I'm trying to understand and what I'm trying to get everybody to understand, what I'm trying to get everybody to know is the visual podcast is where it's at. You know what I mean? Now the audio, you just listen. It's like being in the car, listening to a radio or something like that. I'm not saying that you can't listen to the audio podcast, but when you got them visuals and you see them facial expressions, you know what I'm saying? Know what I mean, son? It works. You know what I mean? You put the camera on, there's no blemishes. If the chick ain't got her rig on white, everybody gonna talk about it in the comments. You understand what I'm saying? Can't nobody talk about nothing in the comments or the audio because I can't see you. It's like John Cena. We can't see you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get there where everybody can see who you are. They can see how you act. They can see how you talk. They can basically engage with how you look. Then you know, I think that's better than audio. All right. I don't know no numbers. I'm not gonna lie about the numbers because I don't know no numbers. They say numbers don't lie. I don't. I'm just saying right now that the audio is not the same as the visual. Take the Breakfast Club, for example. They was popular, but when they got on YouTube, boom, bing bong, they there. I'm done.
You got 14 more seconds, sir. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Bing bong, video podcast, all day, a day. Oh, yeesh.
4, 3, 2, 1. Nasur, you get the rebuttal.
All right, so look, let me just be very real with you. So, number one, audio podcast, you can listen to it in your car while you're driving. Can't watch it and drive. You know what I'm saying? That's how accidents happen. That's number one. You can listen to audio podcasts while you're at work, while you're typing up things. If you're doing a data entry job, or if you're a mechanic, you're working on a car, you can just use your ears to listen to it. I understand that visual podcast is the name of the game right now. It's hot, especially in Black America. But I just want to let you know some things. Name me a no-name visual podcaster other than Kevin Samuels that have made it. I'll wait. You don't have names, but I got 2 names in audio podcasting that not only did they only average like 15,000 views on their audio podcast, they also signed to television. Their names are the Bodega Boys. Their names is Deezus and Mero. Jim Cornette, wrestling legend, has over 100,000 views on audio podcasts. What it sounds like to me is if you put your product on YouTube and you can get a certain amount of subscribers, then monetization happens. Whether it's visual, whether it's audio. I understand that people want to see what's going on in life. I get that, definitely. There's nothing wrong with that. But I truly believe that if you're going to do something visual, it has to be right. Yo, when you be on TV, what they do? They give you makeup. They put the lighting on. They make sure that the audio is right with the visual. The visual is right with the audio. What type of lens we're using? Because all of that goes into the pleasure of watching. Because if we're not watching something that is palatable or pleasable, what we're going to do? We're going to shut it off. We're going to turn it down.
You have 7 more seconds. That's all you got?
Bing, bong, boom, motherfucker. Yeah. The greatest motherfucking Henny Badger that's ever lived. Nah, but for real though, audio podcast is something special. And it may be like a book, as far as a book is not as good as a movie, but a book also can be a New York Times bestseller. And I know the Late Night Flight can be one too.
You're absolutely correct. No disagreement there. I have no numbers. However, you can listen to YouTube in your car. You can listen to anything in your car.
You could.
This is 2021.
Right, but people...
So it does not just have to be the audio version.
But people want to watch it. Let's be honest. If I put something that is visible, you're going to try your best to watch it. You're not going to just ignore what's visually there. I'm sorry, I put my hand in front of the mic. You're not going to ignore what's visually there just so you can listen to what's going on. You're not. When I see something that I know I can visibly see, I'm going to go out my way to go see it.
I watch the Wrestling Inc. podcast.
Yes.
But when I'm driving, I'm not watching it. I'm just listening to it.
You like wrestling?
I do.
That's different.
Any podcast.
You don't listen to my podcast.
I do listen to your podcast.
You ain't listen to episode 70.
I didn't. That's not fair.
This is the late night flight. And before I get into how I just had sex with my ex, Jerz, you ever had sex with your ex, my man? Huh? What?
Absolutely.
No, you didn't. What you talking about, bro?
She was my ex before she was my wife.
You know what? I concede. But anyway, we ain't talking about Jerz, all right, and his love making. We're talking about me and my lust making with my ex. But before we talk about that, last week, me and Smarts on episode 70, which was, again, a good piece of audio business, we found out that Bob Costas is not only America's greatest sports broadcaster, we also realize he is the greatest Thomas Jefferson cosplayer. He believes that he has the right to tell not only LeBron, but other black athletes how to be in America. Isn't that crazy? The audacity of caucasity, like my man Smarts would say last week, where you can have black Americans be taught by white Americans not only how to be black in America, but how to be American in America. Crazy. Smarts, can you go to that clip of how we heard Bob Costas do his latest Caucasian. Smarts, cue that clip up of Bob Costas doing his thing.
Previously on
The Late Night Flight.
He seems to fancy himself as Fredrick Douglas in Nikes, and I don't think he's actually up to that. He often says things that are ill-considered or makes sweeping condemnations that are imprecise. He perhaps sees himself as in the Arthur Ashe or Kareem Abdul Jabbar mold, but I just don't think he's there. And while I guess we have a looser idea about profanity in public these days, I don't think it's terribly classy for somebody who aspires to the kind of regard he hopes to have from Americans that he's constantly using profanity.
Now, we talked crap about Bob Costas saying this stuff last week, all right? We understand that LeBron James isn't Fredrick Douglass. We get that. We understand that he's not Kareem Abdul Jabbar or Bill Russell. We get that. We also know that LeBron James does things like this. Check this out, Jerz. Check this out, Smarts. This is what he does, right? He wakes up next to a woman that is just like really beautiful. Her name is Savannah. You heard of her, Jerz?
Absolutely.
You heard of her, Smarts?
Yes.
Have you seen her though? Y'all seen her? You've seen Savannah?
Yes.
Savannah is that's a fine woman right there. But anyway, back to the real. You wake up from Savannah, right? That's already like a blessed day right there. And then you walk 2 miles to your next compound where your son lives, right? And then you wake your son up. Hey, Bronny, how you doing? And Bronny like, what's going on? You know, like Prince, what's my man name from?
Prince Hakeem.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was about to say from Coming to America. You already solved that for me as usual. Appreciate you, sir. So he goes up to him like he's Prince Hakeem and he's like, son, it's your 16th birthday. What do you want? And he said, you know what, Dad? I was thinking, you know I play for Sierra Canyon, right? He like, yeah, I know. I put you into school. He said, you know that we're playing your old school real soon. I know. I got it on the schedule, son. You know what I would like for my birthday? What would you like, son? I would like to play your alma mater at Staples Center where you play at, Dad. And can you get ESPN to like cover it? And he just looked at him and said, say less. Yo. And then this past Saturday, what happens? You know what I'm saying? Bronny James scores 19 points on St. Vincent, St. Mary's. Hold on.
That's it?
But you got to see the highlights, though.
That's it?
You got to see the highlights, though. And besides, you know, he played with Dwayne Wade's son. You know, he the better one of the two. But hold on. That's neither here nor there. I'm just making a point. This is what GOATs in 2022 do. Tell me if Bob Costas' son ever was like, yo, I just walked into NBC and just got a job. I ain't never heard Bob Costas Jr. just working the New England Patriots versus Carolina Panthers game and making that call, okay? LeBron James is doing something new. Now, I want you to play Kareem Abdul Jabbar's clip, Smarts.
All right, here we go.
Play that clip right now. We're going to hear some condemnation, some ageism, if you will. Let's hear that.
In other news, LeBron James faced a double whammy this past couple of weeks with his first ever suspension after his elbow clipped Detroit's Pistons center Isaiah Stewart. Stewart's attempted retaliation cost him a 2-game suspension. Then last week, LeBron was fined $15,000 for doing a big ball stance after the Lakers' win over the Pistons. The NBA has been fining players between $15,000 and $25,000 for doing this dance since the 2010-2011 season. For me, winning is enough. Why do you need to do a stupid, childish dance and disrespect the other team on the court? It doesn't make sense. Goats don't dance.
Goats don't dance. You know what? Goats don't dance, huh? Well, guess what? I guess goats get injured and let Magic Johnson use your move on Game 7 so you could win a ring, okay? Because don't get it up, bro. I know you have 6 rings, but I also know one of those rings you ain't really deserved. It was Magic Johnson's ring. Magic Johnson should be taking your ring and saying he got 6 rings. Let's continue with other goats. Goats don't punch Steve Kerr in the face during practice, okay? Wow. Okay? Goats don't say Republicans buy Jordans too, just so Republicans, well, I don't want to say it like that. Let me say it better. So goats don't say Republicans buy my sneakers too. When you know Republicans are over here signing a bill for Reaganomics so they can get Black Americans locked up in the 80s, huh? Hold on, bro. Wow. You know what I'm saying? What else goats don't do? Goats don't sit there and get, and let Instagram models, you know what I'm saying, just get you like wifed up or should I say wedlocked. Or should I say, what's that word? Planned Parenthood. You know what I'm talking about, Paul George. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Goats don't do a lot of different things. But let me tell you what this goat did. We ain't talking about the school. We ain't talking about Sierra Cannon. We ain't talking about the fact that he is the shadow president of his own agency. Okay? He's probably building a pension so he could put money in your pocket, Kareem Abdul Jabbar, in your pocket, Bill Russell, in your pocket, Julius Erving, all you old heads that only got paid $1 million a year to play in the NBA. He is funneling all the money. My God. Hold on.
Yo.
Hold on.
Yo.
Hold on. Am I lying?
Absolutely not.
Huh? I mean, ghosts could gamble. I'm just saying, ghosts can't gamble and have your dad's. No, we ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that. Huh? With your father's car in the lake? Huh? Wow. Ooh. We can't get into these things, yo. What are we talking about? It took a GOAT like LeBron James, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwayne Wade to get a GOAT like LeBron to start donating money to Black organizations that was sponsoring Black causes while George Floyd was out here getting murdered. While Trayvon Martin's over here getting murdered. Okay? We ain't got no time for that. I'm tired of this. We cannot sit here as Black Americans and sit here and be like, yo, this person curses more than me, so he's a bad influence. This person sags his pants, so he's a bad influence. We ain't got no time for the imagery. No time for this anymore. Jerz, talk to me because I got to hear what's going on with you as far as how you think. Is this ageism? Is this racism? Is this just ism? What's going on?
It's just hating. That's all it is, in my opinion. It's just hating. I mean, goats eat, they sleep, they dance, they fight, they play.
They say cram.
Yeah, I mean, they do all that. So I don't understand. Like anytime LeBron does something that's magnified beyond measure, the notion that he wants to have Americans love him a certain way, he already has that. You understand? He's a grown man. If he want to curse, he can curse. This is 2021, not 1960, 1970. Mm-hmm. Am I saying that he should be cursing around kids all the time? No, but listen, man, like he's grown. It is what it is.
I just would like to add that he is a lot more outspoken for our civil rights, more so than a lot of the GOATs in the past were. I don't know what the activism was behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure they're probably pretty active behind the scene back in the days.
They were
definitely.
I do not want to get into that when it comes to them. They have been very active in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Behind
no
the scenes.
conversation.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not going to take it away from him.
Kareem, Bill Russell, Julius Erving in particular, but the first two names that I have, definitely.
Absolutely. Definitely. So I just wanted to say LeBron James is doing it behind the scenes, and he's vocal publicly.
What the This that pilot right here.
This is the late night flight. And before I talk about having sex with my ex, we got to talk about Michigan. Now, I'm not going to talk about Michigan the way a lot of you podcasters are going to talk about Michigan, because a lot of y'all going to say the same dry when it comes to Michigan. First of all, everybody's going to be like this. Oh, Condolences to the families, to the lives that lost. This is tragic. This is a tragedy. Oh my God. I can't believe something like this would happen. Why they don't have metal detectors in the school? We got metal detectors in our hood. Why ain't got metal detectors in the white hood? Listen. In the last 10 years, according to CNN, in the last 10 years, it has been 180 school shootings, 356 victims, okay? Since this happened, which was on a Tuesday, no disrespect, this is just another Tuesday. This is a everyday occurrence that the American government do not want to find a way to shut down, because if they try to shut down school shootings, that means they have to crack down on guns. And last time I checked, America don't like to crack down on guns. The guns bring too much money. It's too much guns and butter in America. And man, listen, that marmalade gots to be laid, okay? That's just how that go. Now, here's the thing that I think is like hilarious and absurd and no one wants to talk about except me. So, Smarts, I don't know if you know this, but I have sold a piece of my equity to some police officers up in Michigan, okay? Because I am now the police commissioner of my own detective agency, Jerz. Have you heard, Smarts? Have you heard, Jerz? You ain't heard?
I heard.
Oh my God. And the bird is not the word, Smarts, because I know you, okay?
You read my mind.
Listen, I am now the police commissioner of the Ray Caruth Detective Agency, okay? I am the new police commissioner of the Ray Caruth Detective Agency. I may not catch the ball, but I sure as hell ain't gonna drop it.
Fool.
Okay, now hear me out. We have got some great analysis, all right? Smarts, can you tell me how far it is from where the school shooting was, or where the parents lived, rather, to Canada? Can you tell me how many miles that is, please?
I want to say it's roughly almost 300 miles.
Okay, so it's roughly 300 miles. How long of a drive is that?
That's at 60 miles an hour, 5 hours.
That's 5 hours.
Yeah, it's a 5 hour drive.
5 hours. Mm-hmm. It took 5 hours for CNN, C-SPAN, and all these other places to cover it. And Jerz, that was disgusting, but we won't keep going with that. Don't worry about it. Jesus Christ.
I can't clear my throat, my nigga.
Not on a mic.
No.
Not on a mic. Damn. Jeez. This ain't ASMR. Nobody wants to hear that 2 times. My God. Anyway, it's all good.
That is.
It's all good. That's when people just hear like sounds.
Oh.
So it's like people want to just hear sounds of people just coughing on the mic. Like it sounds refreshing.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a 5 hour drive where you can just hang out with Brock Lesnar or The Weeknd or Drake, you know what I'm saying? And then you can basically do negotiation style the way Middle Easterns do in Europe. They just sit in front of a TV like, nah, I ain't going nowhere until we meet our demands. Until you meet our demands, we ain't going to place. You know what I'm saying? But they went to Detroit. How do you get $4,000 and go to BMF land? Like, that's not an escape. That is drug partying, okay? That is party favoring. You know what I'm saying? Like, how far is where they live at to Detroit, Smarts?
47 miles to be exact.
You took out 4 G's to go 47 miles somewhere, yo. You went to a shaky butt. You ain't go try to flee. You ain't go to flee the state and flee the country. You went to go party, get some crack in your nose. You like, we about to go to jail.
I don't think they was trying to flee though, bro. I really don't.
What do you think they was trying to do?
I think they was just trying to get away from that particular community because they didn't want the ridicule. Like,
and you think the hood wants you?
I mean, the hood don't know. They not looking out. They not looking for the white folks like that.
You saw how fast they caught them in Detroit?
Yes, but Detroit is not just filled with black folks. Let's be clear.
Oh, we know that.
All right. So what I'm saying is they not on it like that. I don't think they was trying to flee. That's all I'm saying.
If you want to get caught, go to the big city. Just go to a city.
That's all you need to do.
I mean, I'm not saying they smart. I'm just saying I don't think they was trying to flee. That's all I'm saying. We're going to leave
our town ridicule to go get ridiculed by a city.
I mean, all right, look. We live in Essex County.
I'm just using your logic.
I got you. We live in Essex County, right? Mm-hmm. Something happened here and I don't want to ridicule from Essex County. I might take a trip to Queens. Like,
Okay.
I'm just saying. Like,
So you telling me you Josiah Moore?
You a glutton for punishment.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro. How to Run Away from East Orange, New Jersey. That is an episode that we have. You should go check that out. Good piece of audio business.
hey, yo.
I feel like that family should have talked to Josiah Moore and said, how the hell do I get out of Michigan? She probably would have helped them out. Because real if she ain't come back home, nobody would have never knew nothing.
Well, nah. Her profile was low for a minute.
Low.
She kept her profile low. Mm-hmm.
She was in the hood of East Orange. How the hell you get that? And she came to a bigger hood in Brooklyn and got low.
She changed her appearance a little bit, though. I'm just saying.
Listen.
And again, I'm not saying that the parents were smart.
Okay.
But if everyone know the details and they read the article or watched the news, I mean, they was trying to get away from the ridicule. That I understand. Was they smart in their execution? Absolutely not.
I'm going to say some white people and then we're going to go to another segment. So white people, this is for you, white people, because we got love for you. White people, hear me out. There's a movie, I believe it's called Fun with Dick and Jane. It's with Jim Carrey and some white woman, okay? I don't believe if this man had 5 different costumes on trying to fool the game and fool Alec Baldwin, I don't know how the you don't either. We'll be right back. This is The Late Night Flight.
Okay, so since we're talking about relationships, I was having a discussion with my wife about a scene that we saw in Power with Tariq and the young lady, Mary J. Blige's daughter, were on a roof.
I forgot her name in the show.
Okay, yeah. But the other young lady that's in his class, Lauren, they had a thing going. They had feelings for each other, but she had a boyfriend. But they had this tension going, and she took him to show him the roof. Right? That he goes to. Now he handles his business up on the roof. Mm-hmm. That's why he's up there all the time. So Mary J. Blige's daughter goes to meet him up there.
Her name is Tiana, but go ahead.
Did they have a discussion? And while she's leaving, the girl Lauren comes up the stairs and sees her. And she's like all over him. Like, you just gonna take that girl? You gonna take the girl up on the roof that I showed you? And I ain't
gonna lie to you. That sound like something your wife would say to you.
Of course.
I just want you to know.
It would be. That's why I laughed. So I laughed. She's like, what's so funny? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this is dumb. Like, it's dumb. It's dumb. You can't take ownership of a place. Mm-hmm. I said, why do you take sentimental value over places? You know what I'm saying? And she was just like, well, if I took you there, if I'm there first, you can't take nobody else there.
Okay.
And I was just like, why? It's a place. It doesn't make any sense. If every place that we went, if something would have happened to me and you got a new man, he wouldn't be able to take you nowhere.
So who you want to throw this to, me or Jerz first?
Let's throw it to Jerz first.
Let's throw it to Jerz. So what is what you're trying to figure out from us men, Smarts, about this situation?
Do you agree with me that you can't take ownership over a place because somebody took you there and they weren't even together?
Right. They weren't even an item.
They didn't have a relationship. Yeah, and she took it so personal. I just thought it was weird.
I agree with you to a certain extent.
Okay.
That extent, I do agree with your wife. So here's the thing, right? Are we talking about in general or the context in which happened on the show?
In general.
In general, you would be right. But the context in which it happened in the show, no one's been on the roof but Lauren and her brother, right?
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So for her, it's sacred.
So her and her brother built the roof that they can be on.
That's nowhere near what I said, but I understand your point.
Okay.
So
they built the roof just for her and her brother.
No. But she took my man up to the roof. She's in love with this dude. Let's just call a spade a spade. She's in love with Tariq. And
even though she's in love with another man.
She's not in love with another man. She's not in love with another man.
But she is with another man.
She's not. She broke up with the boyfriend. That happened last season.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So she's single now.
Uh-oh.
Ready to mingle, but with only Tariq. That's it. Like, that's what's going on. So then Tariq then brings up Tiana.
Yeah.
I think that's her name. So when Lauren sees Tiana, mind you, they met before. They don't like each other because they both want Tariq.
They both want Tariq. Because he's that dude.
So in that context,
yes,
I agree with his wife.
Okay.
If it's a restaurant or anything of that nature, I agree with Smarts. That's just me.
All right. Here's what I want to say about this. From me and my occurrences with women are territorial.
Absolutely.
That's one thing that I realized from the rip. So even if, let's say the woman y'all talking about that was dealing with a ghost son and they wasn't really like they're not an item, they're not a relationship. The fact that she showed it first, it don't even matter for her. It's like, I did this for you.
Facts.
And I'm about to say something that I would never say, but I'm going to say it now.
Yeah.
Because this is the type of conversations I have with my wife.
Okay.
If he didn't clap her cheeks up there, if she didn't take him up on a roof, and he clapped her cheeks up there, I can see her being upset.
She tried. He had to go, remember?
I don't remember.
She went to go to kiss him and touch on him, and then he looked at his phone and was like, I gotta go, and she got mad and stormed off. You don't remember that?
No.
All right.
And if I was him, I wouldn't remember it neither, because I had business. Jerz, I know you saw True Story because you was telling us about it.
Absolutely. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
And I watched it. I watched a few episodes. I think I'm on like episode 6. Did you get the chance to see it yet?
I am on episode 1. I am 30 minutes in.
Okay. And I got some critiques. I guess we got to run it down like we did with BMF.
Yo, we got to. I didn't think y'all was going to want to talk about True Stories. I didn't hear nobody talk about it.
I mean, it's a play on his real life situation. So yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
You know this. All right, we'll talk later.
Well, I mean,
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
I will say this. If you're going to call Kevin Hart the kid, then maybe. Wow. Now I get the joke.
Hey, yeah, I got it.
This is the Late Night Flight, and we are here to hear the story that you wanted to hear. So I am doing my best for you, America. I have talked to Smarts, talked to Jerz, and I'm like, I'm going to start talking about my personal life a little bit. And they be like, no, how you want to do that? How you want to do something like that? Nah, Jerz may like that.
Absolutely.
Look.
Right. Jerz would like it. I know you don't really care for it.
No.
So this one is, I know this one is for the people.
This is for the people.
Yeah, this one is definitely for the people.
This is for the people. You know what I'm saying?
One day you're going to let me be your therapist on air, but go ahead, tell your story.
Sure, no problem. Only on air, not in real life. But I told you, black men. If you listen to last week's episode about black men healing, you know that ain't happening.
Yeah, we had a nice conversation about that too.
So I have an ex-girlfriend, not the ex-girlfriend that y'all know. If I meet her in the streets, I would be distraught and happy and would not know what to do with myself. An old flame of mine from my old high school days, and I bumped into her during the pandemic. And we immediately had rabbit sex. It was great. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Just quick, fast, in a hurry. Fast, hurry, and quick, hurry, and fast. Hurry up quickly. I need it. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff, right?
So in other words, you lasted 3 minutes.
5, I don't know. Anyway, these are jokes, people. These are just jokes. But here's the thing. We are two different people, me and her. I am a little more verbally honest. Like, I am straightforward where I'm going to tell you what I want out of this. That's my style. She is more, I would say, physically honest. She's not going to tell you this is over. She's just going to not call you.
Okay.
And you just have to get that point. You just can't be one of those guys that want to just keep calling. You just got to just get the point.
Get ghosted.
Exactly. But I did get ghosted technically. Because that's what she did to show that, hey, look, you know what, this escapade has to be over. So, I'm just not answering my phone. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. And I ain't gonna lie. Because this is technically, I don't want to say it's a friend of mine, but this is a woman that I know.
Got a history with.
And at the end of the day, if she really was like, Nasur, I need you for something done happen. It don't even matter if I had a girlfriend. I would be there for her.
Okay.
Just as a friend, for real shit. Like, I grew up with her. I'm not going to call her my friend, but if she needed me the way a friend would, I had that love for her unconditionally. I got her.
Nice.
Point blank, period. I'm not even playing. That's not a game. Dead ass on that. You know what I'm saying?
She know that?
Oh, she knows that. Right. She knows that. But again, she knows that, like, I think for her, she looks at men like where I'm not going to put myself out there too much for you because that may come with other things that you may want. You may want some.
Right.
You may want to be coddled when I don't really want to coddle you right now. You know what I'm saying? I got to bust some other moves. I just really needed this financial uplifting from you. You know how I go. You know what I'm saying? So you got to play your part with these things. Now, back to the story. So these last few weeks, I've been thinking about her. And not because her, I've been thinking about her because I want to have sex.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm like, yo, who would do this deed for me? Who would do this favor for me?
Hey, I'm listening. Go ahead. Continue.
So I give her a ring. Now, mind you, here's what made me give her a ring. God is good, technically. So I take a walk to the gas station, okay? I don't want nobody to be like, oh, this motherfucker ain't got no car. Listen, the gas station where my blunt wraps are at is only, you know what I'm saying, 30 feet away, okay? I can take a little walk up the hill during my lunch break to go get me some wraps, all right? And then when I leave out the Exxon gas station, who do I see in her car beeping at me? It's her, my ex. And she smiling at me and just start shaking her head. And at first, I was about to curse her out because I'm like, well, girl, you know I'm walking. Don't be shaking your head while I'm walking. That's not nice. But she just didn't want to say something like, you know, because she's trying to keep her, I ain't really trying to speak type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm smiling. I just like nod my head up and was like, hey, I would talk to you, but I know you don't want to talk to me. Made my little joke. And then she giggled.
Yeah.
She giggled. She was like, why you gotta be like that? You know, regular stuff.
You know why I gotta be like that. You know ghosted me.
You ghosted me,
You don't want to see me now.
Exactly. So I kept it like that. So it's so funny because, again, I called her maybe like 2 days after I saw her. She ain't answer the phone. So I'm like, oh, this ain't about nothing. Until, let's say a few days ago. A few days ago, right? I'm like, listen.
By the time this episode airs, it would be a few days ago.
Wow. So.
Continue.
So, that was funny as hell. So anyway, I give her a ring and she finally answers. She just answers. So she was like, yo, well, what's up? What's going on? I said, you know what? She ain't never answered this phone.
Right.
I have no other choice, Jerz. I have no other choice, Smarts.
Green light.
I have to go for the jugular. I have to. I said, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I was about to say her name. That's why I just stopped like that. I'm going to be honest with you, Stacy. We know her name ain't Stacy. It's a continent, but it definitely ain't Stacy. Okay. So check me out, Stacy. Listen. I ain't going to lie to you. It's been a minute. And I know how we get down. I know we comfortable with each other. I need you to be over here. What do you mean? Yo, I just want to no strings attached. Whatever we can do to work this out, we can work this out. But that's all I want from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to chase you down every week. I don't want to call you when you're not going to answer the phone. Listen, how about this? You can do whatever you want. Just let me know what day you're going to bring your over here so I can finish it off. And that's it. We good. Here's what's funny. So she was like, I'm going to think about that and I'm going to call you back. I'm like, sure, no problem. Back at work, whatever, right? Call center action, doing my job, right? An hour later, I get a call. Now, you know me. I'm making jokes that she, you know, because she's a normal, that's my friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking to her, whatever. She like, yo, I'm going to call you back. I said, oh, I done got too damn goofy.
You missed it.
I missed
the window.
So then she sat here and texted me about that. Why you always got to be goofy though? Like, come on, like you don't even let me talk. So again, fellas, because again, we have a tendency sometimes to mess up our. Let's keep it real. We can say something, it don't even be our fault. We just say something, it's a trigger. Women like, I don't want to do that. So I was like, oh, I just messed up. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know that life. I just had to put that out.
Let him tell his story, man. Listen, man.
So anyway,
this is story.
only this guy. Always a guy with a ring on his finger that's like, I don't go through this. I got that problem, dog. You know what I'm saying? My on demand like it's showtime.
No, I mean when I was single, I never went through that. That's facts too, but go ahead.
So
just to let you guys know that's true though.
You know what I'm saying? So check me out, right? So I'm like this with her. I'm like, you know what? You right. I do like to have fun. I like to joke. That's just my nature. And if you want me to just calm that down because it's going to appease you, I'm doing that right now. No problem. So she calls back. And then here's where it gets funny, Jerz. She's like, yo, what are you doing for lunch though? I'm like, I ain't doing nothing. I got, my lunch is 45 minutes. I mean, criminals get to eat for an hour. I only get to eat for 45 minutes. So I ain't got to do. I'm going to just sit here, look at this computer mad as hell. She said, well, I'll be over there. I'm like, what? So look, I'm going to read this text out. But she done sent me, okay?
You sure you want to do that?
Oh, I definitely going to do this.
All right.
I'm going to read this text. This is what she told me. This is what my ex told me, y'all. when she said she coming to see me, all right? And I was like, yo, I want to smoke though. Like, can you just come over here and bring some? Because I just want to smoke real fast before we do the deed. So this is what she said to me when I asked about the smoking. She said, have your rolled already. You can start smoking before I get there. You are at home, with a rolling eye emoji. I'm definitely going to smoke on my way there. When I get there, you could throw back these 2 shots. And then in parentheses, she has, I'll drink mine on the way. Smoke a little and more. And here's where it gets crazy, because we got emojis. So let me give you the emojis when she said we gonna smoke a little more. And I got a tongue emoji. I got the 3 teardrop emoji. I don't think that's like the blood stuff.
Wet.
I think that's the wet, right? Okay.
Juicy, splish, splash.
And then I got a peach fruit emoji. Then I got another wet emoji. Then I got an eggplant emoji. I think that's where I come in at. And then I got a bang emoji with the explosion, the bang. I guess that's the eggplant banging. Then I got 3 more wets. And then the little man laughing with like the don't go chasing waterfall emoji.
Before you finish, was all of that accurate? From your memory?
Yes. That's
all accurate.
About what?
All of the emojis, is that all accurate?
Yes, they right here in front of me.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Oh.
Like, I don't want to get, but she's juicy like that?
Wow.
Yo, bang like that?
Hey, yo, my man, why you want to know about my girl being juicy, Mary man?
Bro,
Mary man.
We are on this podcast. And
Mary
you telling us that she's sending you the split splash.
Yes.
So I'm asking, from recollection of dealing with her in the past, is that accurate?
Is she wet?
Is that accurate?
Is she wet?
Is that accurate?
You asking me, is she wet? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you for flying the late night flight. Shout out to all the pilots who contribute to the fastest rising podcast. If you want to contribute, DM us at the late night flight.
Hey, yo, what the f***? This is a palace right here.